saying. That's all.
That's not a big deal. But
oh, that's right. Okay.
No, it's all right. We can definitely get through it. I definitely want to get through it because I want us to start focusing on finishing numbers up. So I definitely want to do this next week. All right. Shalom, everyone. We're back. Sorry for the delay. I think we're going to just finish us off here with the book of Ayub here. So let's just see here. So we're on the live. At least this time the live worked. Okay. I still don't understand why that messed up. So I'm going to start us off here just to get us going with these last two chapters of today's study. So we're looking at here Ayub, book of Job, chapter 39. Let me just get rid of, because the Samaritan Pentateuch's not going to have the book of Job anyway. So let me just take the check mark off of that, and we'll just have the two here. Okay. So here we go. 39. If you know the time of bringing forth of the wild goat to the rock, and you have marked the calving of the hinds, if you have numbered the full months of their being with young, and if you have relieved their pains, and has reared their young without fear, and will you loosen their pains? Their young will break forth, they will be multiplied with offspring, will go forth and will not return to them. And who is he that sent forth the wild donkey free? Who has loosed his bands? Whereas I made his habitation the wilderness, and the salt land his coverts. He laughs to scorn the multitude of the city, and hears not the chiding of the tax gatherer. He will survey the mountains and his pasture, and he seeks after every green thing. And will the unicorn be willing to serve you, or to lie down at your crib? Now, I find it very weird that they put wild ox here. I'm not a fan of that. That's different from a rhinoceros for sure. That's not a one-horned rhino. So I disagree with that. Will you bind his yoke with thongs, or will he plow furrows for you in the plain? And do you trust him because his strength is great? And will you commit your works to him? Will you believe that he will return to you your seed and bring it in your threshing floor? The peacock, the stork, and the ostrich. The peacock has a beautiful wing. If the stork and the ostrich conceive, for will leave her eggs in the ground and warm them on the dust, and has forgotten that the foot will scatter them, and the wild beasts of the field trample them. She has hardened against her young ones, as though not herself she labors in vain without fear. For Yahuwah has withholden wisdom from her, and not given her a portion in understanding. In her season she will lift herself on high, she will scorn the horse and his rider. Have you invested the horse with strength, and clothed his neck with terror? Have you clad him in perfect armor, and made his breast esteemed with courage? He paws exulting in the plain, and goes forth into the plain. He laughs to scorn a king as he meets him, and will by no means turn back from the sword. The bow and the sword resound against him, and rage will swallow up the ground. And he will not believe until the trumpet sounds. And when the trumpet sounds, he says, aha, afar off. He smells the war with prancing and neighing. So now we go to the hawk. And does the hawk remain steady by wisdom, having spread out her wings, unmoved, looking toward the region of the south? And does the eagle rise at your command, and the vulture remain sitting over his nest, on a crag of a rock in the secret There he seeks food, his eyes observe from afar, and his young ones roll themselves in blood. Wherever the carcass may be, immediately they are found. Interesting. Interesting. So that was the end of chapter 39 in Ayub there. Now, the only thing I had to really expound on, I found it interesting. If you look at verse 30 there in the Septuagint, it's almost a direct quote from Yahusha in Matthew 24, where he says, where the carcass is, the eagle shall be gathered. So I find it interesting there. In the Masoretic, it's weird. It just says her young ones also suck up blood. Where the slain are, there is she. So I think we can pretty much. I see, Brother Yahusha, you have your hand up. Do you want to mention anything? Oh, okay. It's all right. So we got Ayub chapter 40 there. So the only thing to really say about the last chapter is that Yahuwah is pointing out all these creations of his, and he's basically trying to get the point through Ayub. Are you me? Have you, appointed all these creatures and given them all these things? Are you on my level?
Right.
That's kind of the point Yahuwah is trying to make. Would you like to finish us off here?
Sure. Yahuwah said to Job, will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses Yahuwah answer him. And Job answered Yahuwah, I am unworthy. How can I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer twice. But I will say no more. Then Yahuwah spoke to Job out of the storm. Brace yourself like a man. I will question you. You shall answer me. Would you discredit my justice? Would you condemn me to justify yourself? Do you have an arm like Yahuwah's? And can your voice thunder like his? Then adorn yourself with esteem and splendor, and clothe yourself in honor and majesty. Unleash the fury of your wrath. Look at every proud man and bring him low. Look at every proud man and humble him. Crush the wicked where they stand. Bury them all in the dust together. Shroud their faces in the grave. Then I myself will admit to you that your own right hand can serve you. Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. What strength he has in his loins, what power in the muscles of his belly. His tail sways like the cedar. The sinews or tendons, the tendons of his thighs are close knit. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like rods of iron. He ranks first among the works of Yahuwah, yet his maker can approach him with his sword. The hills bring him their produce, and all the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus plants he lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The lotuses conceal him in their shadow. The poplars by the stream surround him. When the river rages, he is not alarmed. He is secure, though the Jordan should surge against his mouth. Can anyone capture him by the eyes, or trap him and pierce his nose? Yeah, very, very interesting. Hold yourself like a man. Take that in, all you people that think you can be emasculated and be in Yahuwah. He wants you to hold yourself like a man.
Yep.
Could not hold that back.
No. No. Let me see here. I found interesting here A little noticeable difference here in verse 1. The Masoretic has Yahuwah. The Septuagint, though, says Yahuwah Alua or Yahuwah Elohim. So whenever you guys see this, I personally believe this is Yahusha right here. It's me. So
I might have misspoke sometimes when I maybe should have said Elohim instead of Yahuwah. So
no. What I'm saying is they're both together as one, like a compound. Like mom,
okay.
in your English Bible, wherever you like see Lord God,
Yeah.
like together. So when you see that, that's Yahuwah, and then the God is Elohim. So Yahuwah Alua is a compound name that seems to be for Yahusha pre-incarnate. So this is Yahusha right here. The Masoretic left out Elohim or Alua, so it just has Yahuwah. It just has all caps Lord. So that's a major difference there. And
yeah.
so let's see here. Will pervert right ruling with the mighty one. He that reproves Alua, let him return it for answer. And then in chapter 40 there, I think for the Masoretic, it's not supposed to be almighty in the Masoretic because I looked into the Hebrew a lot of times. It's actually supposed to say Shaddai. Shall he that reproves contend with Shaddai, he that argues with Alua, let him answer. Okay. I think that might be about it. I don't think there's any other real differences here. Oh, hold on. What's weird is verse 4 is missing like half a verse. The Septuagint says, why do I, or actually, you know what it is probably? I think the verses are off a little bit. Hold on. It's interesting. Oh, I don't know. It's weird like that. Okay. It looks like in verse 4 it's missing a little bit because the Septuagint says, why do I yet plead being rebuked, even while reproving Yahuwah, hearing such things, whereas I am nothing? What shall I answer to these? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. So basically, Job is saying, I'm going to shut my mouth. Let's see if there's anything else. Now, what's interesting in verse 6 is that the Masoretic says Yahuwah spoke out of the whirlwind. Septuagint just says Yahuwah yet answered and spoke to, I see here, out of the cloud, the LXX says. Okay, yeah, same thing. All right. Okay. This appeared to be righteous. Have you an arm like Yahuwah's? Oh, all right. Here's a difference here. The Masoretic in verse 9 has Elohim. And the Septuagint has Yahuwah there. Have you an arm like Yahuwah's, or do you thunder with a voice like his? Assume now lofty bearing power, clothe yourself with esteem and honor. Wow, that's a lot different. JPS Tanakh says, cast abroad the rage of your wrath. Septuagint says, and send forth messengers with wrath. Interesting. So there seems to be messengers of destruction or wrath. This could be also be tying in with, how the armies of heaven follow him. Revelations 19:13. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a huge difference. Oh, what are you looking at?
I'm looking up Leviathan on my pictures here.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good job, man, of making him look pretty wild.
Bring down also the proud man, consume at once the wicked. Okay. and hide them together in the earth, fill their faces with shame. Okay. I will confess that your right hand can save. But now look at the wild beasts with you. They eat like oxen. Behold, now his strength is in his loins. So this is talking about behemoth here. The force is in the navel of his belly. He sets up his tail like a cypress. I really hate it when translators say, oh, the ox. Okay, an ox does not have a cypress tree of a tail, okay? No, it's not talking about an ox. And it actually says he eats grass like oxen. He's not an ox. Okay, so behemoth. Okay. Behemoth basically is a Plagosaurus, I would say.
Mhm.
Or what's the one that has like the long neck, long tail, really big. He's like a plant eater. Yeah, Plagosaurus or something like that.
Mm.
He sets up his tail like a cypress. His nerves are wrapped together. His sides are sides of brass, and his backbone is cast iron. So his backbone is like iron. This is the chief of the creation of Yahuwah. Now, again, I don't like how the Masoretic says he's the beginning of the ways of Elohim. That doesn't make any sense. I like it way better in the Septuagint where it says this is the chief of the creation of Yahuwah, made to be played with by his messengers. Interesting they leave that out. Interesting. And when he has gone up to a steep mountain, he causes joy to the quadrupeds in the deep. He lies under trees of every kind by the papyrus and reed and bulrush, and great trees make a shadow over him with their branches, the bushes of the field. If there should be a flood, he will not perceive it. He trusts that Jordan. Oh, yeah, I know.
You know about that?
No.
And look, the pictures like versus Behemoth versus Leviathan.
Yeah, Behemoth. I would disagree with the Behemoth one. The Behemoth is more like, come over here, Mom. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Oh,
She's
there's
showing.
some books written about this too.
I'll show you the one that I believe.
Oh yeah, almost like a brontosaurus kind of thing.
That's what I believe Behemoth was. Yeah,
in the water, right?
No.
Oh no, Behemoth is on the ground. That's
right. The water one is Leviathan.
Leviathan's
a sea dragon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And shall take him in his sight, catch him with a cord, pierce his nose. So now the Septuagint, because it doesn't have the word Leviathan here, it kind of switches gears here with it goes to the Leviathan at the end of the chapter. There should be a flood. He will not perceive it. He trusts that the Jordan will rush up into his mouth. So that's Leviathan being talked about there. Shall take him in his sight, shall catch with a cord and pierce his nose. Then, obviously the next chapter we go to goes a little bit further on into Leviathan and all that. But anyway, that's the end of this Shabbat study. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned. You who are willing, next week we are going to be going into Ayub, Job, chapter 41. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So hopefully this was edifying, and see you guys next time. And Shabbat Shalom.